Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Mr. Game You Watch. Now, today I'm going to be doing the Walking Dead Telltale series for my review, and unfortunately, I don't have a box because I digitally download the game. Um, Now the games, because there are actually four of them, I guess depending on how you look at it, because there are separate seasons and they would release them pretty much episodically. First episode, and it was like usually about 6 weeks, maybe to 2 months later to release second episode, stuff like that. The games, they all kind of have to have their separate rating and then an overall rating, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But for the most part, the goods and the bads pretty much stay about the same. As far as bad goes, I guess the only really bad things to say about the game is the fact that they're, I guess, more on the slow-ish side. It's not really like your action-packed games like your Call of Duties, your Devil May Cry, stuff like that. It's a game that's choice-based. Basically, events happen, stuff like that, and you have to pretty much make a choice on what you're going to say or what you're going to do. Each choice is selected to a button, like X, A, B, and whatever, depending on obviously the system that you use. O. So, it leaves, I guess, a little bit to be desired. I mean, it has its intense parts. It's intense because when it comes to making the choices, you basically have a limited amount of time to make those choices. So it's kind of like gives you almost like that real life aspect to it, where, oh man, like what am I gonna do? Like you have to make that split second like choice, So it's kind of nice in a way, but I guess kind of sucks. Like sometimes you gotta like read the choices real fast and be like, this one, you know. So as far as the good things go, I like the art style. It's got a very comic book like art style to it. It's kind of like your favorite comic come to life, but like without it being live action, I guess you could say. I like that it has to do with The Walking Dead. I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead, mostly the first like 6 seasons of it. I fell off a little bit after that. When it comes down to the games, the first two were good. I absolutely hated the third one, and the fourth season, which is now the final season actually of the games, was also good. The reason I didn't like the third season is because the games between one and two, they pretty much revolved around a little girl named Clementine. I mean, the first one you don't play as her; you play as a man called Lee, who's pretty much watching out over her and stuff because she's little. And a couple years pass in between each game. Now, the second game you end up playing as Clementine. The third one you play as a completely different set of people. Clementine shows up like here and there, but like it's not really too much focus around her, and there's like a lot of like backstory there that she kind of like hints at during the game that they really should have made a game out of what happened to her. I feel like it just would have made for a better game because like you go into something and you're used to playing certain characters or seeing certain characters, and then like they kind of just give you a whole new crew. You're like, okay, well, what happened to them? Now obviously when you go back into four, they pretty much kind of went back a little bit. You you're back to Clementine and stuff again. Honestly, I was a little skeptical about playing the games at first. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not really my kind of thing, honestly. And I got them only because I played Heavy Rain. I don't know if anybody's ever played that. It was actually a really good game. To me, I would say, get them if you're interested, especially even more so if you're a Walking Dead fan. It's worth it. It really is. And when you're paying like 20 to 30 bucks per each season, because it ranges somewhere around there. By now, the first season's probably like maybe $10 because it's been quite a while. and I mean, you can't really complain. I mean, gameplay wise, it's like, I mean, I usually finish the games. If I go all the way through, I could usually finish the games in like 5 to 8 hours, maybe a little bit longer, if like I guess I took my time. Um, but I feel like there's not a whole lot to say about these games. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. I guess it's like it's cool because when you're making your choices at the very end, it pretty much like goes over like where your choices made line up with pretty much everybody else. Like, it'd be like, oh, 50% of people made this choice, 50% of people made that choice, or like 10% made this choice, 20% made this choice, 30, stuff like that. So you kind of see, I guess, where you line up with pretty much everybody else who's played the game. It kind of basically takes the analytics from everybody who's played and stuff, I guess, through the Xbox and PlayStation systems somehow. It's I mean, that's pretty much about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the unfortunate thing is here too is I don't have gameplay. I had a bit of an issue, unfortunately, where basically my system crashed. So I'm gonna need to get a brand new game system. Yeah, it pretty much just crapped to bed. So, but I would recommend them. I would. I mean, you could probably get away with not playing the third one, like I said. If I could go back, I probably wouldn't even bothered. But I thought maybe you would have more correlation with everything that was going on in the games. If I had to rate them, I would say first one was good, like a solid probably 9. It was a pretty interesting story. Had some good characters and stuff like that. A lot of like moments that like made you mad, made you sad, made you happy, stuff like that. Like it gives you that range of emotions and stuff. And it's nice to see. It's nice to think that you would make those hard choices because like it's a game, but like it makes you wonder like could I make those choices in real life? You know. The second game I would probably give it like an 8, 8.5 ish, somewhere between there. The third one, I would honestly tank that one. I would give it maybe a 5. Like it just, I didn't appeal to me. I got like bored. A lot of the choices that the game gave you, like it felt very fixed. Like it felt like to me that didn't matter what choices you made, the situation was always going to end bad. And it was like, okay, well, how do you change the storyline with the choices I made when they're pretty much all crap? Like it's, I don't know. But anyways, and then the fourth one I'll probably also give like a 8.5. The way it ended, I feel like there could be more that they could do. They could go farther with it, but I guess it is what it is. It's kind of like one of those things, like, how far do we want to drag this out? So, it is what it is. And overall, I'd say I'd probably give the games an 8. Overall, the whole series together as one, I'd probably give it an 8. You know, again, if you can skip the third one, go ahead, read about what happened or whatever online, and probably do you a whole lot better. Now, next week, going into next week, I'm going to be doing Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I have been considering possibly changing the way I do some of my reviews. I was debating on maybe doing live streaming of the games and then doing my reviews at the end of the week. So, like, live streaming throughout the week and stuff. Just let me know in the comments what you think about that. If you like the idea, I'll, switch over, see how it goes. If not, I'll just stick to what I'm doing now, pretty much my review and then gameplay. Also, obviously, stick around until the end. I have a couple of friends of mine, stuff like that I watch on Twitch, chat with and stuff. A lot of cool people, give them a follow, check them out, whatever. And then I will end up seeing everybody next week, and I hope you all have a good weekend.